What if I told you that the cookware that you're using could be leaching toxic chemicals into your food? And the truth is, the wrong cookware is contaminating your food with heavy metals, microplastics, and tons of chemicals that you don't want. So there's a few non-toxic options that I want to cover in this video so you can figure out which one is the best one for you. I'm also going to test each one with a meal so that we can see how they perform in the kitchen and what it's like to clean them as well. So we'll have links to all these pans down in the description below with discount codes, and we also built a non-toxic database, and we personally vetted hundreds of products, categorized it, made it look pretty, put some information in there for you to learn, and if you want to get access to that, it's totally free right now, so go get that at wellnessdaddy.com/database. So there's no one size fits all when it comes to non-toxic pans. It really depends on what you value the most, whether it's convenience, durability, or how healthy the pan actually is. So here are the top options. This is 𝐿𝐸𝐸ma, which is a fully ceramic pan with no coating. It is the safest option, but it is not the easiest to clean. Ceramic pans can be fragile and much heavier than traditional pans, so you're going to have to treat it with special care. But if you want to go all in on safety, then 𝐿𝐸𝐸ma is definitely the top option. And you're never going to have to worry about any chemicals leaching into your food when you're cooking on this pan. Okay, your next option is going to be the 360 stainless steel pan, and this is a great option that's very durable, and it's really not going to leach anything into your food as well. I recommend the 304 stainless steel, also known as 1810, which contains 18% chromium and 10% nickel. It's the most durable and safest option for everyday use. However, if you're sensitive to nickel, then you're going to want to opt for the 403 stainless steel, also known as the 18-0, which has no nickel but is not as durable. So the trick with the stainless steel is heating it properly. If you get the temperature right, then you can make it a semi-non-stick, and we'll show that later in the video. It's a bit of a learning curve, but it is, again, one of the healthier options. Next is going to be the enameled cast iron from Our Place. This is another good option, a bit heavier than the others, but it's a classic. The reason why you want the enamel is because sometimes if you're cooking acidic foods on a cast iron, it can leach iron into the food. This is specifically a problem if you are a man, because men cannot get rid of iron like women can. We have to give blood in order to get that iron out of our body. So if you have issues with iron, you definitely want to be mindful when cooking on a cast iron. The other thing to note about the cast iron is that it does take special care. So you need to clean it a certain way, and you need to cook with it a certain way. Otherwise, you're gonna mess it up, and it's gonna be very, very hard to clean. The next option is the Caraway ceramic coated non-stick pan. Now, this is the most convenient pan out of the bunch. So it still is non-stick, but it's not using Teflon or the same type of petroleum-based chemicals that are used with other pans. So the key with this one is it's super easy to cook with, but we need to care for it very well. So we can't exceed a certain temperature, and we also have to clean it with a special sponge and make sure that we're not scratching it or chipping away any of the coating. If you can take really, really good care of this pan, then there shouldn't be any issues. However, if you scratch the coating, then it can leach silicone into your food. So this is a great option if you're in a transition, right? You're not ready to make the leap to the fully ceramic or the stainless steel and the maintenance and the care that comes with that. This is kind of like a stepping stone. And look, we're all busy. Who has the time to take care of these pans? I don't know, but this is not the best option in terms of non-toxic, completely safe. However, I believe it is a better option. One of the first things to consider when buying a pan is how much it weighs, because depending on how strong you are and how nimble you want to be in the kitchen, it might play a role. Okay, so I brought out the scale. Now let's weigh these bad boys and see what we're working with. Okay, this cast iron is 7 pounds. The ceramic is 4 pounds. The ceramic non-stick is 4.2 pounds, and the stainless steel is 3.6 pounds. Okay, so it seems like this is the lightest, second heaviest, heaviest. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is heat conduction. So with the 𝐿𝐸𝐸ma fully ceramic, this is gonna come in last place in terms of heat conductivity. It heats slowly and unevenly, though it can retain its heat quite well once it gets hot. This type of cookware is ideal for low and slow cooking, but not for quick heat adjustments. So in summary, this has the lowest heat conduction because of the properties of the ceramic. So the Caraway ceramic coated is gonna come in third for heat conduction. So Caraway's cookware has an aluminum base, and that's gonna help with the heat conduction, but because of the ceramic coating, it's gonna slow down the thermal efficiency. So in summary, it has good conduction, but slightly less from a performance perspective than the steel. So coming in second place is going to be the enameled cast iron. Cast iron holds and distributes its heat evenly, but it heats up slower than other metals. Once it's hot, it retains its heat well and is great for slow cooking. Enameled cast iron has slightly lower conductivity than traditional cast iron because of the enamel coating. So in summary, excellent heat retention, but slower to heat. Stainless steel is going to take the #1 spot for this category because especially when it's combined with an aluminum core, it heats up really quickly. While pure stainless steel is not the best conductor of heat, this pan, the 360, incorporates aluminum and copper, which can speed up that heat distribution a lot faster. So in summary, great heat conduction with fast and even heating, especially when combined with that core material. All right, I'm here with Jessica Nicole, and she's going to be our in-house chef today. So we have a handful of steaks right here, and we're going to take the steaks and we're going to cook them on each one of these pans. So go ahead and unwrap that. One of the first things that you have to do with especially the cast iron is you're gonna have to season it. So go ahead and put a little bit of oil on that pan. And then we're gonna pre-oil all these other pans as well so that they don't stick. After actually cooking with all these pans, let's talk about the ease of use and the effectiveness of each one. So the Extrema fully ceramic pan took the longest to cook. It had the worst sear, but it made the best tasting steak. It was the second easiest to clean, and in this category, I would put it overall in second place. The 360 stainless steel pan, it was the fastest to cook, but it was a little bit sticky. It had the best sear, but it was also the hardest to clean, and it had the second best tasting steak. In this category, in terms of ease and effectiveness, I'm gonna put it tied for last place. The enamel cast iron pan had to be heated up in the oven before. It also had an uneven sear. It was the second hardest to clean, and in my opinion, the worst tasting steak. So I'm also gonna put this one in the tied for last place. The Caraway ceramic coated was a quick cook and it had an okay sear. It was the easiest to clean by far, and the taste of the steak was not the best, but it definitely wasn't the worst. So in this category, I'm gonna give this one first place. In terms of versatility, I'm gonna put Extrema in third place, the 360 stainless steel in second place, the enameled cast iron in fourth place, and the Caraway ceramic coated in first place. In terms of cleaning, I'm gonna give the Extrema a close, very, very close second place. I'm gonna give the 360 cookware fourth place. I'm gonna give the cast iron third place, and I'm gonna give the Caraway ceramic coated first place. I was extremely surprised to see how easy it was to clean the Extrema. I was not expecting that. And the Caraway ceramic coated was gonna be the obvious first place because it's a non-stick surface. What also really surprised me is that the cast iron was easier to clean than the stainless steel. So the next category is going to be price. This one's going to be the cheapest. This is the Caraway ceramic non-stick coming in at $145. Next one is going to be the Extrema fully ceramic, which is coming in at $182. Then the next one is going to be the Our Place enameled cast iron, which is going to be coming in at $200. And then the 360 stainless steel is going to be coming in at $220 for this saucepan. So the next category to be thinking about obviously is safety when we're thinking about non-toxic products. So the fully ceramic Extrema is going to be the safest, right? Nothing's going to leach. There's no allergies or anything like that. Next is going to be the stainless steel, although the only thing with this one is like people who are sensitive to nickel, so that's something to keep in mind. And then the next one is going to be the enameled cast iron because, as I mentioned before, the iron can leach into the food, and for people who have issues with that, that might be a problem. And then the last one is going to be the Caraway, which is you just really need to make sure you take care of this ceramic coating, otherwise, you know, you might have some issues. So now the question becomes is which one do I recommend? And honestly, it's probably the pan that fits your lifestyle because everyone has different needs. People are more busy than other people. People care more about other things than other people care about. So it really comes down to what are those preferences that you have. And honestly, after doing all the research, it seems like the best option actually is to rotate your pans. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but that's the conclusion that I came to, and that's the one that I'm going to do my very best to practice in my own life because all of these are different materials, right? And what we cook on, you know, it's being absorbed into our food to some respect. Even though this is ceramic and it's totally safe, and this is stainless steel and it's safe, and everything's pretty safe, I still feel much better about exposing myself to a variety of things versus overexposing myself to the same thing over and over and over again. And to make this really practical, when we're thinking about this, like the stainless steel could be the pan that you use for sauteing. And the cast iron could be the one that you use for searing and cooking steaks. And the Extrema ceramic could be the one that you use for everything else, or when you have more time and you kind of want to do this whole slow eating thing. And the caraway is a good option for when, hey, things are really busy. I don't want to have to deal with a lot of mess or cleanup. I just want to out of the kitchen, be as efficient as possible. And maybe that's just, for some occasions, that's just the pan you use. So now that you know what to look out for when it comes to your cooking pans, couple quick tips. Number one is try not to use metal utensils on these so they don't scratch and you don't mess up the enamel if it's one of the ones that has one. And then the second thing is you're gonna wanna hand wash all these pans. Don't throw them in the dishwasher. Otherwise, they're gonna break down, they're not gonna last as long, and pans are pretty expensive. So the best way to make sure that they're intact is to take really good care of them. It only takes a couple extra seconds or minutes, and that way you can have these for years to come. So one of the surprising benefits that I didn't expect making this video is realizing how important it is to use different pans for different situations. And because of that, I've become more mindful in my cooking. And I think the more that we can get in touch with our food, the closer we can get to that connection, the deeper the connection we can make to our food, the healthier we'll be. So even though I love the peace of mind of knowing that, hey, the things that I'm cooking on are safe, I also love what it's done for my relationship with the kitchen and the food. And again, if you're interested in getting any of these pans, there'll be links down below. Just remember to use code WellnessDaddy so you can save some money. I hope you found value in this video, and I know you're gonna like this one right here. So go ahead and watch that video right there. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, be well.